We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. The words supportive and positive learning experience brings us to rule number 6. Please show please show your appreciation by applauding for the speaker using the gestures icon on your screens. Now, I would like to invite the presiding officer to start off the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pyle. Thank you all the members and the guests in our meeting number 501. So I see few guests in today's meeting. So first I would like to check from Shweta. I guess she is attending our first meeting. Shweta?
Hello, it's my second.
All right. Okay. Welcome.
So, thank you.
And what brought you here in today to this meeting?
Actually, I'm a member of Greno Toastmasters Club, and because of availability of online meetings, I thought of exploring it at different clubs. So I contacted Toastmaster Rupinder, and he gave me an opportunity to attend. And last Wednesday, I attended your meeting.
I recall that now. All right, thank you so much. And I see Jiva. Jiva, can we have quick words from you about today's meeting?
He's actually
Meenakshi is
no, he's Shetej.
Oh, Shetej. Okay, he's our member, so.
Sorry, hi. I was grabbing my headphones. That is my daughter's name. I'm just renaming it to myself. Sorry about
All right, no problem, Shetej. Okay, then we have Jasmeet. Jasmeet, you are also like a member to Blue Quest, but still we would like to hear from you.
Hi everyone. So yes, I'm back again for this Blue Quest Toastmasters meeting, and it is always fantastic to be a part of this club. So yeah, I'm looking forward to today's meeting. I'm playing the role of TTM today also. So let's see. I hope it will be fun. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Jasmeet. And Nimisha, again, over to you.
Thank you so much. This has been a privilege for me to be the part of this club as a temporary resident, as Rupinder Coach said. So this is, I feel very positive in the morning to attend this thing, and it gives me a great start to a day. So that's why I come to have a great start for the day to this club. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so looking forward for a great meeting. So with that, I would like to hand over the stage to our Toastmaster of the day, who happens to be Nimisha herself. So Nimisha, over to you.
Thank you so much. Friends, good morning to all of you. I have a question to ask to all. And do let me know your response by raising a hand in your video or virtually. Have you been through experience where people around you have told that you were murmuring in your sleep something, you were saying something, and you're all those, yes, I can see that people. So what is that? Do you happen to speak in the sleep? No, right? They come from the dreams which you have while you are sleeping, and you tend to participate in that dream, and from there it comes. Well, technically, dreams are stories and images that our minds create while we sleep. They can be entertaining, fun, romantic, disturbing, or frightening as well. According to Mandukya Upanishad, dream is one of the three states that a soul experiences during lifetime. Other two states being waking and sleeping. Yes, my friends, You have been dreaming. You have been dreaming with closed eyes as well as open eyes. Today we are going to talk about both. Before I move forward with my theme, I'd like to apprise you all with the flow of this Toastmasters meeting. The meeting comprises of three sections. We have prepared speeches where speakers prepared their speeches in advance and delivered their speeches over this forum. Then we have table topics where guests and Toastmasters who have not got a chance to speak are invited on the stage to speak on a topic given instantly, impromptu. Last but not the least, we have the evaluation section where everyone gets a chance to improve. Today, the evaluation section is headed by someone who is a seasoned training professional with more than 2 decades of experience in training and development. He loves to eat Rajma Chawal, and his biggest dream is to keep on eating as much as he wants without even gaining a single ounce. Yes, my friends, he is none other than Toastmaster Rupinder. I will invite him so that he will apprise you about the parameters on which today's meeting will be evaluated. Over to you, Toastmaster Rupinder.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, good morning, everyone. I'm still in a different time zone. As a general evaluator, my responsibility is to monitor and mentor this meeting. I am here not as an evaluator, but as an elevator. Perhaps in the evaluation section, we will learn certain things that we've been doing not the correct way or can be done in a better way. I will be assisted in my quest for excellence by our speech evaluators. So each of the prepared speakers will have a corresponding speech evaluators. To all the speech evaluators, I look forward to you providing engaging, encouraging, and empowering feedback. Toastmasters treats communication as the pivot of leadership, and we are required to have our communication as concise, clear, and correct. Just like I have three evaluators for three speakers, I have three evaluators who are going to help me in measuring these parameters. The first person that I'm going to call on stage will help you make your presentations or your communication concise, and that is our timer. Our timer today is Toastmaster Avjinder. May I request Avjinder to please explain his role?
Thank you, Rupinder. Greetings, everyone. So, my fellow Toastmasters, as a timer, I'll time the table topics, formal speeches, evaluations, and rest of the activities. Each time I have for prepared speeches, we have 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and 7 minutes. So the speech duration should be 7 minutes or below with 30 seconds grace period. I'll give the cue to the speaker by presenting the cards, the red card, green card, and yellow card in between the duration of 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and 7 minutes. I'll also time the table topics for which the time is 2 minutes, and I'll present the green card at 1 minute. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll present the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I'll present the red card. So after the speeches and after the evaluation section, I'll present my report to the team. Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to invite the role player who will help us make our communication clear, and that is our R counter. Our R counter today is Amri Shahpuri. May I request Amri to please turn on her video?
Hi, Rupi, can you hear me?
Yes, can you please turn on your video? Are you in a position to turn on your video?
Just give me 5 minutes. I'll turn it on.
Okay, then you can just tell us about, speak about your role.
Okay. So my role, as Rupi said, is to help all of our members to have a clear speech. Clear speech being defined in how can we speak uninterrupted in a flow where the audience has confidence that we know what we're speaking about, that we're confident how we're speaking about, and that we have a natural flow and I would say is rhythm in how we're speaking. So that means that I'll be tracking is a number of ahs, or number of ums, number of I don't know, or you know, or nows, or small filler words that we use in our speech. A lot of times without realizing we use them, but when we become conscious of them, our speech flow becomes much better. So I'll be sharing that report at the end of the meeting today.
Thank you, Amri. And for the record, you've said one is a, which is a filler word for you.
Thank you.
I would now like to move on to my grammarian, who also happens to be our president. And I would request Kapil to explain how he will help making our communication correct.
All right. Thank you, Rupinder. As a grammarian of the day today, my role is to observe good usage and not so good usage of the grammar. And I will be presenting my report at the end of the meeting. So I have a word of the day. So word of the day is plaudit. I am writing it over the chat. This is a noun and the meaning of the word is enthusiastic expression of approval. So sentence, Sachin's inning on a tough cricketing wicket won the plaudits of opponents. So I would love to hear this word in your meeting, in your speech, in table topics, or in evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kapil, for explaining your role. And I'm pretty sure that all our speakers will earn plaudits today for their speeches, and as will all of our role players. With that, I will hand over the session back to the Toastmaster of the day with the promise that I'll be back during the evaluation session to see how we all have done. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Journal Evaluator. And now it's time to move to the prepared speeches. But before that, I would like to quote Harriet Tubman here. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. And with the same spirit, I would like to call our first dreamer on the stage, our first prepared speaker, someone believing that learning is a lifelong process. She thinks that dreams are the initiation energy which makes us work. Her recent dream is to see laughing faces on her screen when she delivers her speech in this club. But the speaker, let me call her evaluator. Someone who dreams to find a job which fits in comfortably with her schedule. She was not having it to worry about anything. Toastmaster Payal, I invite you to read out the objectives of our first speaker. Toastmaster Payal, you are on mute?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Nimisha. So, good morning, everybody. I'm here, as said, I'm here to evaluate the speech delivered by Shweta. Shweta will be giving a speech from level 3, project 1, engage your audience with humor. The title of a speech seems to be really interesting. That is hashtag BST. The purpose of this project is for the member to determine her style of humor and apply it to her speech that centers around a central message. The timer, this is for the timer. Please note down the speech length, that is 5 to 7 minutes. Good luck to you, Shweta, and thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Nimisha. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pyle. And now, for first streamer, who is dentist by profession, model by profession. Toastmaster Shweta, can we have you on the stage? Yes. Toastmaster Shweta?
I would like to check my audio.
Yes, it is good. Toastmaster Shweta, hashtag BST, hashtag BST, Toastmaster Shweta.
Someone said, the struggles in a journey are only known to a person who travels the path. Anyone can tell me who said this? Actually, I said this during the lockdown. When everybody was coming up with different talents, this is all I could manage. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. In my journey, today I'm going to share few behind the scenes with you all. Hashtag BTS. Let me start with sharing a picture with all of you. Can you see a picture here? Can you find the old one out? Oh, I mean the odd one out here? No, if you can't, that means Lux International do work. Let me share that one of the model present here is almost 1.5 decade older to rest of the model, even 2 decade older to few of them. But if it sounds glamorous, my dear friend, it's not. There's so much of pain behind this, because doesn't matter how fake a person I am, my bones and my joints are really honest for their age. Every time I tried to behave an 18-year-old with those 6 inches high heels, they both responded in form of pain and sprain to make me realize my real age. But my friends, I am a fighter. I never gave up. My bones and muscles were not the only one who were against my journey. There are 2 more, and they call me Mama. I lost more assignments than I could get. And most of the time, the reason was my daughter. Because every time when I'm talking on phone, she'll make sure that she'll shout in background, Mama, I'm hungry. I'm not saying that people don't give assignments to those models who are married, but nobody wants to work with a family who sounds feminine on the very first call. And that's how my first impression becomes the last impression. This is not enough. When I started, I was fighting to find a new date of birth. I hope you all can guess why. It's not as easy as you are thinking. Being not very good in mathematics, I decided to go for tens. Did you ever pay attention? When you are born in a 10th year, it's so easy to count your age in the current year. That's why I decided to born in 1990. Everything was going well. I was doing well till one day, when I was sitting with my form in my hand, and one of the co-models sitting next to me just asked, when did you pass your past 10th? And without thinking much, I said in 97. And she responded, but you born in 90. So you were only 7-year-olds when you passed class 10. My dear friends, on that day when I came back, I charted out my whole life as per my new date of birth. When I passed 10th, when I passed 12th, when I entered college, when I passed out college. Now I was confident enough. But there was much more. They say when this brain is stretched with a new experience, it is almost impossible to bring it back to its original shape. And that's what come in between when I tried my best to involve in those chirpy conversations of those 18, 19-year-old girls. Every time they are discussing their boyfriends, the boys, I was sitting like Nana Patekar, and I was like, look, doesn't matter how good your boyfriend is. The day he'll turn your husband, he'll be of no use. And that's how I got the tag of granny in this modeling world. I got an idea. Now onwards, I'll carry a novel. I'll make a distance from any kind of conversation. I'll do the show. I'll come back home. I started carrying a novel with me each and every time. But that too doesn't work for me. Now I was tagged with the model with the highest attitude. Everybody used to say, she has some different attitude. And it brought many messages in my Facebook Messenger every time I did this. Every message started with, hi, how are you? I know where this conversation is going to end. This will end when I say I'm married, I'm mother of 2 kids. But the task was to bring the conversation to that point. My dear friends, my struggle is endless, but I have to end this speech within 5 to 7 minutes. So let's end it with what someone said. But this time that someone is not me. This time she is Lucille Bell. She said, the secret of staying young is live honestly, eat slowly, and lie about your age. Over to you, TMOD, Toastmaster Nimisha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shweta. This indeed is a movement of plaudit from all of us. Great. It takes me time to come back from this great speech. Now, time for our second dreamer. He is someone who has over 36 years of working experience and has been a Toastmaster since 2009. He is presently a corporate trainer helping in areas of behavior and soft skills. Well, if I'll keep on talking about him, I have so many things. But let me come to his dream. Dream to have a small cottage with an orchard where he can grow apples. Yes, it is his dream, which believes will always be a dream. Amen to that. But before that, before I call the second dreamer of our day, we call his evaluator. Someone who wants to do something significant for the community. And her dream is to travel around the world. And she wished that COVID ends soon. Trust me, we all wish that. And with this, I will call the evaluator for Toastmaster, Surendra Bhaumik, Toastmaster Anshu, to read out the purpose for his speech.
Good morning, everybody. The purpose of the speech is, this is level 3, speech 3, the storytelling. The purpose of the speech is, the purpose of the project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech, that is a story. The member completing this project is focusing on using stories in the speech or creating a speech, that is a story. The member may use any kind of story, personal, well-known, fiction, or one of his own creation. Listen for a well-organized speech, that is a story or includes a story. Over to you, Toastmaster Ganesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshu. Well, can I have Toastmaster Surendra Bhaumik on the stage? You are on mute, sir.
Absolutely, I'm there.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Surendra. Well, the title of the speech is not related to what he dreamed, somewhere near it. Surendra, the Apple effect. The Apple effect, Surendra.
Yes, it's an apple. Good morning, wonderful guests and my fellow Toastmasters. The Apple Effect, that is the title of my story. This is a short story that will resonate with all of us. A hunter once lost his way deep inside the jungle while chasing a deer. He used all his skills, but neither did he find any way out of the jungle, nor could he find any food to eat. It was the 5th day that he was without food. In the wilderness, he lost all hope and felt he would die out of hunger. He was so very hungry that he could not feel his life. He could feel that his life was ebbing away. Just then, he caught sight of an apple tree laden with red, ripe apples. He was ecstatic and could not believe his eyes. He quickly collected a few dozen apples to feed himself for the rest of his search of that elusive deer. As he bit into the first apple, his joy knew no bounds, and he just could not stop feeling grateful and blessed. He thanked the Almighty, the universe, and all his gods. He was so very happy. He just could not believe his luck when he ate the first apple. But he was less grateful while having the second apple, and even less grateful when he had the 5th apple. And by the time he reached the 10th apple, his joy had reduced drastically. He just could not enjoy that 10th apple. He even started throwing away a few apples which did not look red enough and started complaining about it. Somehow, with each passing apple, the hunger still kept on increasing and the joy kept on reducing drastically. Now he had already taken for granted the gift of having found the tree so full of apples in the middle of this dense jungle. The 3 days of going hungry and almost giving up on life. You know, in economics, it is called the law of diminishing marginal utility, or as I would like to call it, as the law of diminishing gratitude. In simple words, taking things for granted. Or let's just call it the so-called apple effect. The apple represented a lack of appreciation, and the hunter represents all of us. The 10th apple was as sweet and delicious as the first apple, but it failed to give the same pleasure. It was not the fault of the apple, but the person who was enjoying it. It did not lack the potential to satisfy his hunger. But the only thing lacking was his gratitude for finding food in the middle of the jungle. The 10th apple represented our lack of gratitude for these gifts of life and our take everything for granted attitude. As we continue receiving the gifts of life, our hunger, our greeds keep on increasing, and the joy we get from these gifts diminish. The reason I'm sharing this story is to show that we are suffering this apple effect in our lives for some time now. We have abundance of everything, and even then we complain about the government, our jobs, the roads, weather, people, food, everything. But during the lockdown, I'm sure you have started appreciating a lot of things in life that earlier you had taken for granted. Even such small things like meeting your dear friends over a cup of tea, or having fresh vegetables to cook today. And thank God, I'm healthy and safe. Do we ever think of these things 6 months back? The present situation is shaking us and showing us that we depend on something much, much bigger than what we are aware of. We must be grateful for our blessings. We've started appreciating the luxuries we lived in. Oh, those abundance of food, freedom, product, health. Oh my God, those good old days. Weren't they so good? Right now, all of us have two choices. Be grateful or be stressed. It is a choice. That just like when we breathe air freely, without pain or illness, none of us take the air seriously as we take it for granted. Only when we enter the hospital, we realize the value of air. That even breathing oxygen with a ventilator costs money. When we change the way we look at things, the thing we look at changes. Gratitude is a strong, powerful, empowering emotion. Something we have to bring more awareness and be more grateful for the gifts in life. Gratitude supports our immune system and makes us strong and stressful. But strong, yes, but stress makes us weak. Be aware of your state of mind and do count your blessings. Thank you is the best prayer that you can chant all day. The law of the universe is that when you are grateful for things you have in life, you will have more things to be grateful for. So never let that apple effect make you take the gift of life, you take it for granted. Never let gratitude for life fade away. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay happy, and stay grateful. Thank you once again. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Surrender. And may you enjoy your every apple as the very first one. Now, time for our third dreamer. Someone who is instructional designer with over 15 years of experience. And according to people around him, he is a little bit slow. I hope today he is fast with his speech. His dream or ambition for the moment is to repay our normally accumulated large debt. But before I call the speaker, let me call his evaluator. Toastmaster Kshitij evaluator is someone whose dream is to travel freely. And she also believes that traveling helps us expand our horizon. Yes, Toastmaster Ruchita, evaluator for Toastmaster Kshitij, I invite you to read out the speech purpose for the speaker.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Hi, everyone. So today, Kshitij is going to present level 1 speech. The topic of speech is search engine optimization, and purpose of speech is to learn or review the basic research methods and present a well-organized and well-researched speech. Over to you, Kshitij.
Thank you so much, Ruchita. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ruchita. May I invite Toastmaster Kshitij?
Thank you, Toastmaster Nimisha. Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great.
Toastmaster Kshitij. SEO, Toastmaster Kshitij.
Thank you. So I'm going to begin this speech with 2 facts. Fact number 1, I am like a hot air balloon, inverted, which basically means that my head is the smaller size shape of the balloon and my body is the larger shape. Now that's fact number 1, but there's a fact number 2. If I wanted, if you search the hottest male on internet, I could be the first result. Now how and why? Well, the reason is simple. SEO, search engine optimization. Now, all of you who know about SEO, could you give me a quick thumbs up? Okay, so some of you know about it. Thank you. So in my speech today, I'm going to do a beginner's level on what is SEO, why do we do it, some of the good, bad, and ugly part of SEO. So as I've said, SEO stands for search engine optimization. Let me just fix up my button. Okay, it's distracting me. So when you search something on Google, okay, when you search something on the internet, the search is often displayed in pages, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Now, how does Google decide what it should put on the first page, what should go on the second, and what should on the third? Now, if you're looking for a business, let's say you're looking for the top milk provider in your area, Google is not going to check your milk and taste it and then decide that this person should be on the first page. Instead, what Google does is Google judges your website. Okay, so search engine optimization is everything related to your website. So even though you may have the crappiest milk possible, you might still be the best result on Google. Okay, now so what you can say is that search engine optimization is the process of making your website more likable by Google. Now, how do you make it likable? It's like my wife, right? There are some conditions. I will love you, but you have to do the dishes, you have to take care of the baby, you have to be slim and athletic. Obviously, I'm failing the third one, reference the hot air balloon. So again, Google has these conditions. If you meet those conditions, then it's going to like your website, okay? Now, this is the what. What are these conditions to go deeper? So what Google does is it crawls, now that's not a nice word, but it crawls all the internet pages, all the web pages and collects information. And then it analyzes that information according to some algorithms, okay? So this is there are, and what are these conditions that Google puts forward? It's like a KFC Colonel Sanders recipe. They won't tell you everything. There's something hidden, but there are some basic things that you will know about. So for example, your content, it should be original, it should be well written. Excuse me. It should have keywords. What do you mean by keywords? Keywords are keywords is what you put in Google to search something, right? So if I'm looking for a manufacturer of soaps, then the website should use keywords such as top manufacturer of soaps. So it's a whole business out there. There is, like, they do a lot of different things to understand what people are searching for these days, and then they try to put that information on their website. So it's like attracting people. Now there are other conditions that Google puts forward, which is like how fast the website loads, what is is it accessible on mobile phone, because today about 60% of traffic is generated on mobile phones. And apart from that, is the website well structured? Is there a heading, is there a heading, subheading, descriptions, and those sort of things? Now, Google also dislikes a few things. For example, there should be no piracy. Your content should be absolutely original. If you're putting content that has been put elsewhere, then it won't like you and it'll rate you low. So again, at the end of it, this is all about getting rated higher in the eyes of Google. Okay. Now, this is the what. Now let's talk about the why. Okay, the biggest reason is, like, you can answer it yourself. Whenever you search something on Google, when was the last time you went to the second page or the third page or the fourth page? I don't even remember going there, because whenever we search something, we just pick up something from the first page, from the first few results. Even on the first page, the first few results, I pick the information I want and I just close the window. So the why is, businesses who want to be more visible, more attractive, they need to follow search engine optimization practices. Okay. So for example, you're looking for a top service, you're looking for a top cow dung provider in your area. Okay. You want to buy cow dung. By the way, Amazon also sells cow dung. So you put that in search, top cow dung provider, and the person you see on the first few pages, you're more likely to give them business, right? Maybe the person on the second or third page has much better high quality cow dung, but they'll not get your business. So again, just by following search engine optimization practices, this cow dung provider was able to get your business. So that's the why. Now I'm going to quickly point out some good, bads, and ugly part. The good part is businesses get visibility. People who have high potential but may be on the verge of shutting down because they are not getting enough customers, so they get visibility. The best part is it generates employment, because people like myself who write content, they are able to get newer jobs, newer opportunities, even visual designers, web developers. There's also an ugly part to this. Most of these sites put content that is meant to please and attract you. Remember, their main purpose is to ensure that you spend maximum time on their website. Okay. And they are always constantly scheming. They are having meetings. They are scheming how to bring more customers in. So as a result, often they put sensationalized content. They often put content that looks like it's being delivered by an expert, but it's not really an expert. People like me, freelancers are writing those comments, those pieces of content. So the ugly part is it generates a lot of data and becomes really hard to find out what comes from expert, what is just someone's opinion. So you need to be very careful about what you read on the internet. So to close this general guide to SEO, what I'm going to say is it's all about the visibility on Google, and it's all about being the number one, not number one in your products and services, but being number one in the Google search results. The next time you see a business listed on the first page of a Google search result, respect them, because they've worked really hard to get there. And one last word of advice for every Indian out there: do not trust everything you see on the internet. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kshitij. And with this, we are done with the first section of the prepared speeches, where our dreamers have shared about their dreams and also their experiences. And I would like everyone to plot it, all of them. So it's the turn for our theme again. Now let us talk about dreams we see with the closed eyes, which we usually do while sleeping. You know that on an average, a human can dream 3 to 6 dreams per night, which can be 5 to 20 minutes long, resulting in average of 6 years of their lifetime dreaming. Wow. So dreams are important, right? Dreams which we can recall portions about, they are called lucid dreams. What goes through our minds just before the sleep, just before we fall asleep, would affect the content of our dream. Do you remember your mother saying during your childhood that not to watch any horror show before you sleep, or else you'll have a nightmare? Well, at that time, Z horror show used to come. Well, guess she was not kidding. Well, I would like to call her few Toastmasters who can share their experience, any incident, especially I would like to call for the funny ones that they remember about their lucid dreams. Anyone who would like to share their experience that, okay, that was funny, but that was a dream.
I would suggest we ask these questions in the table topic.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Yes, we do have that section. But I would like to start with Asher, who says that start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And with this instant, let us move to our impromptu speaking section, as Mr. Journal Evaluator has prompted. The section was headed by someone who is a part of global immigration team in IBM Noida. He is also a part of Symphony IBM Club Noida. He believes dreams do come true if you truly believe in yourself or in your dream as well. One of his dreams is to travel Europe. And I suggest you wear a mask when you do that. Our table topic master for today is Toastmaster Jasmeet. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nimisha, for such a nice introduction. Well, very good morning, every one of you. I hope everyone is doing great. So today I am playing the role of a table topic master. So as a table topic master, my duty is to give you some interesting impromptu activities, impromptu topics, where you have to come and you have to speak as per the topic which will be given by me. So it is really important to take part in this impromptu session, in this table topics. It helps you to develop your thought process, your analytical thinking, and basically it helps you to speak on the spot, because in the real life situation, you will not get time to prepare and then speak. You have to speak on your feet. So this is why it is so important, and it will really going to help you if you practice this impromptu, especially in these table topics. So let me start today's table topic, and as per the theme dreams, I have chosen some topics related to the theme. So the first person I would like to call on virtual stage is someone who is a past division director, a current district mentorship chair, and I'm really happy as GE Rupender sir has advised me that I should call her. That is Abha Ori. So Toastmaster Abha, welcome. And I would like to start. Yeah, I would like to start the table topic session with you. So are you ready for it?
Yes, of course.
Okay, great. So Toastmaster Abha, your topic is, do animal dream or only humans? If animal dream, does that mean they can think?
You know what? I have a German Shepherd. His name is Devil. he sleeps with me every night. And as I stay in Siliguri, I don't know whether you're aware of it or not, but it rains profusely out here. And it was the same last night, a lot of thunder and lightning. And this fellow, although he's 12, but he's been squealing away the whole night. And so I had to keep patting him and telling him to, just calm down. But once the thunder and lightning stopped, I found he was just mumbling away to himself, And by now I get the feeling that I actually can understand what he's saying. So I could make out that this guy is still very fearful and probably in his dreams thinks that, the thunder and lightning is still carrying on because he refused to sleep on his bed and wanted to snuggle into mine. So once I got him onto my bed and he sprawled himself there, and then, the way he was mumbling, it seemed a very satiated one, very happy that, oh, I am now back on the bed and now I'm safe. In the morning, when I wanted to wake him up and tell him to get off the bed so that we could go for a walk, he again was, doing things like that as if to say, I'm enjoying myself totally. So believe me when I say that dogs can dream too, and they can speak as well and tell you exactly what's happening in their dreams. They may not be humans, but they have better sense of smell, better sense of anything which is going to happen. So they can dream as much as we do, and they can speak much better than we can. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Abha? That was fantastic, Abha. The way you talked about that, how you have a dog and how you think that he dreams. Yeah, that is something which I also have a very much, whenever I see any animals, I also have this question, whether these animals can also dream. So very well explained. Let's move on to the second topic, second speaker. Now I'd like to ask Sumit Juneja if he can come on virtual stage for a topic. Sumit, are you there?
Yeah, I'm available.
Okay. So Sumit, your topic is, can you remember any of your recent dream? Just explain any of your recent dream. Over to you.
Well, I get usually very sound sleep, and whatever I dream at night, it's mostly not known to me in the morning. But in the recent past, I have had this dream that I have had a multi-billion-dollar deal where private equity investment into my company. So I do not have a company, but it looked like that I have a company and I've built it from scratch, and then I am getting this kind of investments. I hope dreams are something which do get true sometimes, because mostly I have heard that dreams are dreams and it does not get true. But when you are having these in sleeping state, but this is what I have got in my one of the recent dream, and I think it's the dream came usually to us because we at times have this similar thought in the morning, and whatever we think in the morning, whatever thing during the daytime and the waking state, that comes to us as a form of dream when we are not awake, and that's what exactly the impressions that we build in the morning comes from the back of our head, comes to our forehead, and then we see those dreams as a story at night. So if that's the case, then I think that's a part of reflection I had in the morning, and this is one of the recent dream I had. But believe me, I usually do not remember my dreams in the morning mostly, and I usually get very sound sleep. Over to you, Toastmaster TTM.
Thank you. A round of applause for Sumit Juneja. Sumit, that's good to know that you always have a sound sleep. I also wish that I could have, because I usually have very disturbing dreams during my night time. So yeah, that's good to know that you actually have a very sound sleep. Okay, let's move on to the next table topic speaker. Next person I would like to call on virtual stage would be Ruchita Malik. So Ruchita, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, Ruchita. So, okay, your topic is have you ever had a dream which seems to come true? Have you ever had a dream which seemed to come true? Over to you, Ruchita.
Well, that's a surprise for me as well. But yes, I had a dream which did came true. So this was a time when I was doing my graduation, and the dream was to study abroad. But the challenge at that time was to how to get the funding for studying abroad, because it was not that easy to secure that funding, considering I just passed out of college. So what that dream still, that the dream was always there in the mind, but I just postponed it for some time. Like, I thought it's better to start working first and then see if I can save that much money to study abroad. During like first few years while I was working, I was saving towards my dream so that I can work, so that I can save money for my dream. But what really happened was, when I applied for studying abroad, fortunately, I was selected and I got 100% scholarship. So that was something which was totally a big surprise for me, that I did study abroad after completing my graduation and working for almost 8 years. And that too all free of cost, where all my expenses, including my education and living expense, were secured by the company where I did my training, as well as I did education in London also. So yes, there is a dream which did come true, though it took a bit longer than expected time, but yes, in a good way. Yeah.
Okay, great. Can we have a round of applause for Ruchita? That was really nice to know that your dream of studying abroad actually came true. So, okay, let's move on. And the next person I would like to call on stage would be Amri Shahpuri. Would you like to attempt a table topic, Amri?
Sure, thank you.
Okay, Amri, the topic for you is one nightmare that you can never forget. One nightmare that you can never forget. Over to Amri.
One nightmare that I can never forget. I would say I'm a very idealistic, optimistic person. So when I would say, when I define the word nightmare, it would be much broader than many other people would have. If I would say is my nightmare to some may be is being in a country where people constantly mock the way you speak their language. A nightmare might be where when you drive, the constant reaction of people around you is like this kind of look. And a nightmare for many people might be is you constantly feel you have a lot to learn. But I would say is the way you interpret things is very different. For all of these are being here, being able to learn the language, being able to drive and show off to my family that I can drive, being able to have my own perspective and bring that to the audience. I feel I've been able to turn this so-called nightmare into a dream. And I think for many of us, it's every coin has two sides. It can be is a way you choose to look at it. It can be is a nightmare, or it can be a fantasy. So it's up to us how we want to interpret it. So each one of us every day can wake up feeling we're living yet another nightmare, another COVID-related sitting at home nightmare. Or it could be that another day that we wake up and get to spend time with our family, don't have to commute, get a chance to be a Toastmaster sitting at home. So for all of us, nightmare or fantasy are just two sides of the same coin. And I think we have an opportunity to see it how we want to see it. Back to you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Can we have a round of applause for Amri? That was just brilliant, and good to know that you are such an optimistic person, that you really don't have those nightmares and all. Okay, so as we are running late, so I have to close this table topics session. I think it was a wonderful session. I think the way every speaker spoke, it was just fantastic. So once again, a round of applause for all the table topic speakers. And now it's time to hand over the stage back to Toastmaster of the day, Nimisha. Over to you.
Thank you, Topic Master, Toastmaster Smith. And now, let us come to the dreams with open eyes. Well, before that, for which we tend to really work hard, the dreams we see with the open eyes. These are the dreams which make us work for ourselves and the people around us, for whom we care, and for whom we doesn't even care, I guess. But still, we do work hard. Question is that are we really working hard for the same? And to see that, I have a person who will, I will now call a virtual journal evaluator onto the stage, who with his team have kept a constant eye on the proceedings of this meeting. And with their moonlight, they will lead us to the dawn of learning and growth. Over to our journal evaluator, Toastmaster Rupinder.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. What a wonderful meeting. And perhaps my biggest learning was that Amazon sells cow dung. Wow. But I will not talk about speakers, though I want to. I will have the respective speech evaluators talk about them. And I would like to call upon stage our first speech evaluator, Toastmaster Payal, to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Shweta.
Good morning once again. Can I request Rupinder to give me some time before I could give in my evaluation for Shweta? Just like maybe the second or the third evaluator I can be doing.
Not to worry. I will request Anshu if she is ready to please give the evaluation. Anshu, let me spotlight you while. Go ahead.
Initially, Shurendra sir, this is the speech evaluation for your speeches. Initially, it took out to be a story of an apple, but there is actually a story depicting all of us. The start of the speech was with a prop, and that was a wonderful thing. The story taught us about two laws. One is the law of marginal utility, and the other one is the law of universe. Both the laws are one of the most important laws of economics as well as the nature. So one thing we have is a feeling of gratitude, and when we are grateful, how great things happen to us. So this is a great learning for all of us. The story was packed with a lot of takeaways that we all can use in day-to-day life. I had a troubling hearing some of your words. I feel that this is the same with everyone, or maybe the problem was from my end. The facial expressions, gestures, voice modulation was excellent, was very expressive. The speech was so engaging that I feel 5 to 7 minutes was less, and I want to hear more from your side. And at last, I would like to say the speech is worthy of plaudits from all of us. Thank you, Shurendra.
Ayal, if you are ready, we can have you with your evaluation, or do you want me to move on to Ruchita?
I would request Rupinder, if you could move on to the next evaluator. I'll be there in 2 minutes.
Okay, Ruchita, you're on. I'm spotlighting your video.
Yeah, okay. So the topic of speech was search engine optimization from Kshitij. Kshitij, what I liked most about your speech was the simple, very simple way that you articulated it. And though I was aware of search engine optimization, but the way I remember it now is, it's there in my head. Like I can simply explain this to anybody, though I know it in technical terms more, but now with your examples, it was very easy to relate to it. The way you introduce difficult topics like what comes first in Google or keyword search, that was like very, very nicely put up. The way speech was structured, like what and why, it was good, as in terms for somebody who is not aware. I think everybody in this meeting will have an idea of what search engine optimization is now, by now. The thing, the giving examples throughout was very good and an easy way to explain the concepts. Second thing which I which I felt in the end was that a bit of on the time management side, the pace which we started, and at the end we were just a little bit of rushing, so we could have improved on that. You were maintaining eye contact throughout, which is good, and a more use of voice modulation could have improved it a bit. That is what I felt during the speech. But overall, a very good way to explain such a technical topic, I'd say.
Thank you. I would now request Payal to finally come on stage and deliver her evaluation.
Thank you so much, Rupinder sir, for being so patient and allowing me to just point out all the evaluation points. So, good morning, everybody. So, I'm here to evaluate the speech delivered by Shweta. I would like to start like, what a heartfelt speech, Shweta. And more so, as your evaluator, I got emotionally involved listening to you, as I'm in the same situation as yours, being a mother of two. I wish I had a chance to have a casual conversation with you over coffee, where we could both share each other's situation and feel better about it. Anyways, the three things, Shweta, I liked about your speech. Firstly, the way you opened your speech with a quote, which left the audience thinking. Secondly, your speech had all the humor elements which helped it to fulfill the objective of your project. Thirdly, I felt the way you unfolded each and every experience of your life and yet kept the humor element intact was totally marvelous. And it was actually an emotionally roller coaster ride for me. Your eye contact was perfect. Your hand gestures matched your words, and it was a great speech. However, just to give a few recommendations to help you improve on some points, at certain points, I felt the flow of words seemed interrupted. So if you could just work on it in your future speeches, I mean, the flow was missing. You somehow got, maybe you forgot a part of it. So if you could just work on that part. And secondly, I felt if you could, that's not a major point to mention, but if you could, okay, let me leave it. I'll send to you that privately. And to sum it up, it was a perfect speech, totally engaging and engrossing. All the best for you, Shweta, for all your further speeches. It was great listening to you and being your evaluator. Thank you so much, Shweta. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. I will now start evaluating the table topic speakers. Timer, please time me for 2 to 3 minutes as I go about evaluating each one of them. Total 2 to 3 minutes. Abha, I must commend you because you got a difficult, long topic, but I think you did very well with the topic. You did full justice to the experiences that a dog might have. And for a moment, I was reminded of my own pet, and I could totally relate to it. Minor detail that you might want to improve on. The topic relates to animals, not dogs. So you said that Yes, dogs do have dreams. The topic was that do animals have dreams or something like that. Sumit, I loved the explanation that you gave, but I would also want you to give some examples. I felt that the examples were missing. Ruchita, I loved the fact that you told a story, and personal experiences are the best way to tell them. I just felt that your speech had a kind of abrupt ending. Amri, I loved the twist that you gave on nightmares. And then I also liked how you spoke about how those nightmares are your nightmare. And you have very practical nightmares, I must tell you that. My only recommendation to you, while it also is your strength, is that you have this tendency to not look at the camera while you speak. While it gives you that impression of a person who's brooding, contemplative, I think that once in a while when you look at the camera and you smile, it will help you in your speech delivery. Overall, wonderful table topics done by everyone. And I will now ask my tag team, or actually my GAT team, to start with their reports, and I will ask Toastmaster Kapil to present us with the report of the grammarian.
Thank you, General Evaluator Rupinder. So I observed few good usage of the words, and I barely could hear only one not so good usage of the word. So I will probably start with good usage of the words and phrases. So famine, and charted out the way it was used in a speech in a different context. I actually liked about that. And I like the quote that if you really want to stay young, live honestly, eat slow, and lie about your age. Then I observed a couple of good usage like diminishing marginal utility. Again, this actually took me to my college days when I was studying economics, and this was a difficult concept to understand, but then how you use this in speech, it's good. And then breathing oxygen on ventilator costs money. Yeah, it's a very practical thing that we forget that oxygen is free, but if when you are in hospital, it actually costs money. So yeah, nice way to explain this. And then there were a couple of good usage in table topics like profusely and mumbling. These were the two good words that I learned today. And about not so good usage, I observed that one of the speakers said that I am a fighter, I never gave up. So ideally it should be I am a fighter, I never give up. So that ends my report, General Evaluator.
Well, thank you so very much. I would now spotlight Amri to deliver her our counter report.
Thank you. Rupi, I had is I'll go down name by name and give an indication of their fillers that people have used. Nimisha used one now, one Payal used 7 ums, 1 o, and 1 pause. Surendra sir, nothing. Anshu, nothing. Shweta, nothing. Ruchita is 8 us and 1 I think. Kashatji used 1 so, 3 okays, 1 right, 2 ums, 2 likes, and 4 okays. Jasmeet used 2 ums, 1 so, 1 okay. Abba used 1 1 you know. Sumit used 3 ahs, 1 you know. Ruchita used 1 so, 2 ahs, 1 you know. Rupi and Kapil had no fillers as well. And overall, I think the meeting had a very strong flow. I think just a few places where people can have a little more preparation where possible to reduce those fillers. But overall, I think that the whole, everyone as a whole we are reducing in the fillers that we're using. So fantastic for everyone. Thank you. Back to you, Rupinder.
And Amri, you had 7 hours.
Oh,
And
not too good.
one more is which is not bad actually, considering that you were playing an impromptu role. The R counter is not an easy role to play. I would now call on the timer to read out the times of Jinder.
Thank you, Rupinder. Let me just read my timer report. Let me start with speeches. Shweta completed her speech in 6 minutes 26 seconds. That's qualified. So Arendra sir went a little overboard. He went on to 8 minutes 51 seconds. That's unfortunately disqualified. Kshitij was just in the nick of time. He had 7 minutes but 30 seconds grace period. So he finished in 7 minutes 29 seconds. So he does qualify. As far as table topics is concerned, Abha Ori finished her table topic speech in 1 minute 48 seconds. Sumit did in 1 minute 43 seconds. Ruchita Malik did in 1 minute 59 seconds. Amri took 1 minute 50 seconds. So nobody went overboard. Everyone was within 2 minutes time frame. As far as evaluations is concerned, Payal on Shweta took 2 minutes 27 seconds. Anshu on Surendra sir took 1 minute 33 seconds. Ruchita on Kshitij took 1 minute 48 seconds. Let me remind everyone that we have 2 to 3 minutes for the evaluation section. So maybe you can cover some more topics next time. As far as timing is concerned, I think everyone did very well. Back to you, Rupinder.
Thank you. And very quickly, I will also comment upon the meeting and how and the various roles. I would say that the Sergeant at Arms got everything right. The only thing that I would want the Sergeant at Arms to focus on is having an introduction for the presiding officer. So prior to the start of the meeting, do get in touch with the presiding officer, maybe ask them how the week has been and how and introduce them using that particular theme. So otherwise, I think the Sergeant Rams got everything right. The meeting started on time, the room was set up properly, and the club mission statement was properly read, and housekeeping rules were properly read. So let's have a round of applause for Sergeant Rams. The tech master, on the other hand, which happens to be a general evaluator also, was not having a good day. He was not able to mute everyone in time, and then he did not start the meeting recording on time, and did not do an audio visual check except for a few people, and the spotlighting was way off base. Your tech master needs to be fired. Coming to the presiding officer, I think the presiding officer did a reasonably good job. Recognized the guests and asked for and introduced the Toastmaster of the day in a proper manner. I would like the presiding officer to keep a track of how many times the guests have come to the meeting. Also have some sort of an inspirational opening, maybe start with an inspirational quote or something like that. Otherwise, very well done. To the Toastmaster of the day, I think that she got almost everything right. The theme of the day was well chosen. The insight into the theme was given. Meeting structure was explained properly. Energy, enthusiasm was there. The speakers were properly introduced, and all role players were also properly introduced. The one thing that I would have wanted the Toastmaster of the day was that her audio was coming and going, and I believe that, and I take responsibility for that. I should have called it out to her, but there were some portions that we were not able, at least I was not able to properly hear. But I think that as far as Toastmaster of the day role goes, we've been doing very well on the Toastmaster of the day roles for the last 3 weeks, I think, and Nimisha continued that trend. Let's have a huge round of applause, Nimisha. To the table topics master, I liked the way that the table topics were organized. Only one feedback, that try not to have more than 10 words in your table topics. I like that the preference was given to audience members who did not have a chance to speak, and then he moved on to the evaluator and the counter. The only advice I would give is that the order in which you follow is guests who are Toastmasters who have not spoken, then guests who have not spoken, then Toastmasters who have not spoken, then move on to the speech evaluators. And that would be a nice order to follow. The speech evaluators, I think we did reasonably well. The speech objectives were read out properly and they were all aware of project details. They had the project evaluation sheet. Generically speaking, two things that I would want to call out. When you're giving a commendation, you give your opinion or your observation, you follow that up with example, and then you talk about the impact. So, for example, when Shweta was talking about being born in the 1990s, I found that hilarious. So my observation would have been that Shweta, that part about being born, you pretending that you were born in 1990s was absolutely hilarious. And I loved and then I go into the example. I loved the goof up that happened when you said that you completed your class 10 exams when you were 7 years of age. And I wish that I was as innovative as you are when it comes to humor, and that would have been the impact. Similarly, if we are calling out a recommendation, then we are also supposed to call out the opinion, the example, the impact, and the way forward. For example, today, your tech master was not able to spotlight people properly. So your observation could be that, Rupinder, today the spotlighting could have been better. That is your observation. Then you go into the examples. For example, I saw your face while Nimisha was speaking, which should not happen since you are nowhere as good looking as Nimisha is, right? Or Amri is, or Shweta is, right? So that is your example, impact. It seems very unnatural that there is this really sweet voice of Payal coming through, but we are seeing your face, which is, and the lips are not even moving. Okay. And then the way forward. One way that you can do it is that you have the agenda right in front of you, and so that you know whom to spotlight. The second thing that I would like to tell you is do not take on the role of a tech master when you are a general evaluator. Now, what has happened is that you've told the person your opinion, given examples, stated the impact, and you have provided them with a way forward, how to move ahead. So I would ask the evaluators to focus on these parameters when you're giving a commendation or when you're giving a recommendation. Also, do not use the word but or however when you are evaluating. Trust me, if you've ever been a part of an appraisal meeting where your leader tells you you did a great job, but anything that comes before the but becomes meaningless, and anything that comes after the but, you do not want to hear it. So try not to have but and however in your evaluations. Now, when I move on to my role players, I think the timer, our counter, grammarian did an excellent job in their respective introductions. To the timer, I would say that if you're going to call out disqualifications, then just say that one speaker was disqualified. You don't have to call out the particular disqualification. To the R counter, I think the report was very well delivered. I would ask you to maintain an encouraging tone. So there were a few speakers who did not have any ahs, ums, or filler words. Just have a round of applause for them. Minor thing, but I think that is something that you can take care of. And finally, to the grammarian, the word of the day was well chosen. I felt that a comment on the word of the day was warranted because somewhere the word of the day was not used in a proper manner. So when I come on to the meeting, I felt that the meeting was excellent. The chat room was quiet during the speech. Speeches did not have offensive language. No one unmuted unnecessarily. The props were properly arranged. I felt that the applause and the energy of the meeting was higher than what it was before in the preceding meetings, but I think there is still some scope for improvement there. So I think we today started, we set a good example by turning on our videos for Shweta's speech, because she was giving a humorous speech and she needed to see our facial reactions while she was speaking. I think that is something that we can try out. I also saw that there were no, that the meeting was conducted in a very professional manner. I'm very happy to state that it is 9:56 and we are coming to the close of the meeting. It has been an absolute honor being your general evaluator today. And with that, I would now like to spotlight our Toastmaster of the day. For once, I would like to get my spotlight right. Over to you, Nimisha.
Thank you so much, journal evaluator and his team, for such a comprehensive report. I really believe that today we are going to take so many good things, so many points where we can work upon and have a great meetings forward. So, coming to an end with my theme, dreams are the windows to our subconscious mind that reflect our desires and thoughts. A dream does not become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. And I want to close my theme by saying this two lines. Hold fast to your dreams, for if the dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. With this, I hand over the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Kapil.
Thank you, Nimisha. One request to all the members and the guests that we have a big meeting coming up on Saturday, or 500th meeting. I'm sure that it will be a great meeting. So please do join us and bring your friends also if you can. And
please vote for the best role players. The poll is up on screen.
yeah.
I'm not able to, my submit button is not functional. I'm not able to submit.
I think it will be when you select, when you answer all the questions.
Okay, maybe I'm just. Yes, there we go. I'm sorry to bother you. Every time I disturb people because of my so bad in being technical.
It's okay, you're learning.
Kapil, you can continue.
All right, again, so I reiterate that point that we have a big meeting coming up. So please do join us for that meeting. And regarding agenda, Rupinder, do we have any agenda for that meeting?
Sharinder sir can answer to that.
You will get the agenda, I think, by Friday. We will be able to have, because there are a lot of people who are either confirming or about to confirm. They've said that by Thursday they will let us know about it. So that is why we are keeping it in abeyance. But we have started filling up the slots. So you should be able to get the agenda hopefully by Friday evening.
Is it the same format or a different one?
It'll be a different format, totally different format.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sure. So I have nothing more to add, except that people who have not renewed their membership, please go ahead, because September is the month where we need to renew our membership. So please do so if you haven't. And that's it. Then see you on Saturday. Thank you so much.
I'm still yet to announce the award, so you might want to take feedback from the guests.
Oh yeah. All right. So So I don't see Abha ma'am. So can we start with Jasmeet? Jasmeet, can you give us a quick feedback on today's meeting?
Oh, yes, I think it was a good meeting. I really enjoyed the meeting, and good to see that we are doing today voting as well. So let's see who are the winners. Yeah, thank you.
Nimisha?
Thank you so much, Kapil, for calling me. Although I've taken a lot of time today on this stage, and I really want to say one thing only, that as a gem, when you go through multiple hands, you get multiple cuts and different types of finishing, which makes you really, priceless. And I feel that way right now. So this is my feedback for today. This is my expressions of token of gratitude.
Okay,
Over to
thank you. Shweta?
Yes. Thank you so much. So it was my second meeting only in your club, but I was feeling as if I'm a part of this club. So I really like the way the main purpose to deliver a speech in a different club was to see if my humor, my efforts in this new pathways are working or not. And I believe the recommendations and commendation I got, I'll definitely work on them and try to make it better next time. Thanks a lot for having me, and I really enjoyed the meeting.
Sharinder sir,
Thank
would you like to comment on Shweta's speech?
I think in a lot of time, in a lot of months, this is one of the best humorous speech I have heard. What I really loved about Shweta's speech was every incident that she spoke about had a twist to it which brought humor, which is, I think, a cornerstone of a good speaker who understands the audience and therefore delivers the audience a constant humor levels with punch words that she used. What I really liked about her was her facial expressions. She was expressing herself, but at the same time, she did not give away the upcoming fun which is going to be shared with the audience. It always gave us that feeling that there is something coming. And that something coming kept coming. And that's where expectations were met. But at the same time, expectations were met far beyond what we were expecting. Brilliant job, Shweta. This can be a champion speech.
Thank you so
Over
much,
to you,
sir.
Great. Now, I'll now share the certificates. Just trying to figure out which one I'm missing. Speaker, evaluator, oh, there's a table topic speaker. Right. So in no particular order, I am going to share my screen and I'm going to talk about the certificates. So 1 second. Yeah. So I guess you can see my screens. So our best table topic speaker came in all the way from Siliguri and goes to Abaori. Now for the best speaker, seriously no surprises there. I'm going to plagiarize some parts of her speech. Toastmaster Shweta Dagar. Very well done and very well deserved, by the way. The best evaluator, I think she's winning this award for the first time, Ruchita Malik, and I think she's playing an evaluator for the first time. Very well done, Ruchita. The best auxiliary role player. Oh, there comes that smile. Amri Shapuri, very well done. And finally, the best role player, all the way from Manesar, Nimisha Singh, and from Ludhiana. So that's it from my side. I am just going to send the certificates by email, and the script is running, and you should be receiving your respective certificates in your email inboxes. Thank you very much. Wonderful meeting.
I would like to welcome our young model, Sweta's daughter. She's such a lovely, beautiful girl. I'm sure she's going to do so well in life. God bless. Say hello, young lady.
Say hello.
Hello.
That's all. We'll put her in Gravel and you'll see how she starts talking.
Okay.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'm going to stop the meeting recording.